What is going on, Movie Meals? Movie Meals podcast time, episode 11. We're here to talk about lots of good things. Venice Film Festivals, D23s this upcoming weekend. Hope everybody's having a good long weekend. Remember, these drop on Mondays, so this will come out after D23.
Will it?
Yeah, because D23 is this upcoming weekend, and we're gonna air
Oh.
this to next. Wait, does this come out today? Wow, I got a lot of
Yeah, it
work to
should come out
do.
today.
My goodness. I got a lot of work to do. This will come out today. All right, let's get into it. Since we're all confused, go get some merch. I'm tired. Day
Alex
off.
is like, crap.
Kyle wanted me to start and talk about Jaws in 3D, which is what I went and saw, and it low-key kind of slapped. It
Yeah?
looked pretty cool. That was the biggest screen I had seen Jaws on. I had seen Jaws on like kind of like when like actual local theaters will play movies and they put kind of just a biggish screen on that's probably about 80-90 inches, but obviously not a movie theater size. I've seen Jaws on that and actually got to talk to the cinematographer of Jaws after that meeting,
Oh,
which was cool. uh
nice.
but I went and saw it with a friend of mine on National Cinema Day. The theater's gone bankrupt. They all don't have any money. Top Gun didn't save the day as much as we thought. So they made National Cinema Day apparently a thing. $3 movies. I was like, I gotta go. I was debating what I wanted to see. Decided to go see Jaws, and it was pretty cool. Jaws might be the greatest casted movie ever. Richard Dreyfuss, they're all so good in that movie. Some of those scenes are incredible. The scene where he's his son is copying him at the dinner table and he just doesn't know what he's going to do to help the town, and it's so good. Anyway, I had a good time. It was weirdly kind of cool in 3D. They played the trailer for the Avatar re-release they're going to do at the end of the month in
Hmm.
3D. And I was like, all right, I remember why James Cameron was so big on 3D. He made a movie for 3D. This trailer looks awesome. I kind of want to go see Avatar in 3D when it comes out. So we'll see if
Hmm.
I do, but yeah, it was cool. Did you go see a movie on National Cinema Day?
No, I did
Wow, not a
not go
fan.
out. Not a fan, clearly.
You hate
If my
film.
theater did play Jaws, then I would have gone and seen that. But instead, they decided to screen Spider Man for the billionth time. So I know that there was like a planned re release for that, but it annoyed me that my theater didn't have Jaws. I was very jealous. And I'm surprised to
I mean,
hear
it
that
was
the
in
3D was really
3D.
good for it. I just didn't
Yeah, it
expect.
was
I expected it to
remastered.
be fine, but it was remastered.
It
Oh,
was
okay.
kind of cool. Yeah, it's a remastered. They got a remastered, make it in 3D. It kind of
I guess
worked.
that
It
makes
kind of was
sense.
cool. There was one goofy scene though where he picks up a telephone and he picks up the wrong telephone, and then he
Hmm.
puts it back on the wall. He picks up his other cop one, and in 3D that telephone on the wall was like really really sticking out, so it looked really goofy. That was the only time I thought it was goofy.
Oh,
But
right.
all
Well,
right,
it
well
was
let's
cool.
go ahead.
What
What were
now,
you saying?
Kyle? I was just gonna say it sounded like a cool experience though. I was kind of scrolling through Twitter yesterday and was hearing of people's experiences, like hearing conversations about Jaws after like people saw it for the first time that way, and they were like, wow, like that felt like a movie. Like it was scary but also fun. And I was like, yeah, like how movies should be. They should feel like not fake and be
when
good. So it
when
was nice to see
Ask your
that
parents,
reaction.
if your parents were teenagers during when Jaws came out, ask them what it was like, because I've asked my parents before and I said, what was it like when Jaws came out, and they said it was like the most terrifying movie ever. Places were closing, beaches, people were throwing up in the theater, they were leaving, people were terrified to go in the water because of Jaws, like
Hmm.
just because of that
Yeah.
movie, and all because the mechanical sharks they had never worked. All because the mechanical sharks they had never worked. But some of the shots, I was talking to my buddy when we got out of the movie, just some of the shots, some of the scene, like it truly is Spielberg at his best. Watching that, I was like, this is scarier. This is better than 95% of the movies that have come out in the last 10 years. That's how good
Yeah.
Jaws truly is. Jaws is part of the reason we have summer blockbusters. It is an iconic movie. If you've never seen it and it's playing at your theater, go see it even in 3D just to get an opportunity to see the incredible magic that is Jaws on the big screen because it is so freaking good. There were a couple times I think in the remastered version it looked like they had CGI'd the shark a little bit to make it move a little bit more at a couple of spots, but it didn't take
Mhm.
away at all. I actually thought it amped it up a bit. I thought it was a good time. Jaws is a movie I don't own, and the first thing I got to do is go buy it because I need to have Jaws at any time ready to go because Jaws is that freaking good. It's a 10 out of 10 all time. It legitimately is a perfect movie. I mean, it is. I can't find a flaw. And I watched it in 3D. Not a flaw to be had. It's that
Sure.
freaking good. It's just
I
that
mean,
good. All right.
yeah, I watched, E.T. We'll move on soon, but I was watching E.T. on the big screen a few weeks ago,
So good.
and it was a really cool experience. Like, there wasn't too many people in my theater, but there was, like, a young kid a couple of rows behind me, and at first, he was a little bit confused at the start of the movie. He was like, "Why is this scary? I thought this was supposed to be fun." But that's what I was enjoying, was seeing people, like, kind of be scared, but also at the same time, like, have an uplifting, feel good spirit to it, because it is that movie at the same time, like a movie about friendship and um, finding your way home. And the kid, and I was overhearing more, and you could tell like the kid was into the movie after like 20 minutes because all of his prior questions were like gone. He was like invested in it. So,
We had the
yeah,
same thing in Jaws. There were two it
yeah,
looked like
I'm
there was
sure.
only two other families, and it looked like that they had brought their kids so their kids could see Jaws, and they
Mhm.
were into it. They didn't wanna quit. They were in. It's
Movies are
amazing.
magical.
There's a reason Spielberg is who he is, and people forget it because
Yeah,
he's not as consistent anymore. You know, West Side Story was really
yeah.
great. I didn't mind The Post. I thought The Post was a nice little movie, but he doesn't hit the way he used to anymore. But you go back to OG Spielberg. I mean, Jurassic Park, Jaws, E.T.,
Yeah,
The Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Speaking of our boy Dreyfus,
yeah.
it's so good. He is the master for a reason.
Mm,
All right.
absolutely.
Let's move on here to the not Toronto, Venice Film Festival. Kind of
Yeah.
it's the first big festival of the year, right? Is usually Venice, and then we'll get a couple others, right? Don't Are we gonna get more, or
So,
is that it? Did we already have all the
no,
big ones and I just forgot?
I know Sundance came out earlier. Right
That's
now,
like
I
March,
think
isn't
TIFF
it?
is
Yeah.
happening close to the same time as Venice is. Venice is happening this weekend, but we're starting to get into the season, kind of, sort of the Oscars and the awards race. So we just thought we'd take time to just hear what we're, or see, or sorry, talk about what we're hearing and seeing on
Yeah.
the Twitter spheres about
And
Venice right now.
I'll start with the only thing I actually saw because I was only on the news cycles and the tweeters and everything for a solid amount of time yesterday. I was too busy surfing, living the dream. Uh,
He was on a
and I
boat,
just saw
jealous.
it's true. And then had a little fire after. It was a good time.
Mm.
So Kyle's gonna catch me up on some more stuff. But the one thing I did saw was Brendan Fraser getting an 8 minute, just him. He got an 8 minute standing ovation for Darren Aronofsky's film. Was it not Darren Aronofsky? Was it
Yep.
Aronofsky?
Hmm.
Yeah, Darren Aronofsky for Whale. And I saw a little
The
interview
whale.
where the Whale, excuse me. I saw a little bit of an interview with Darren where he said it took him years to cast this movie, and that he saw Brendan Fraser in a Brazilian film, a low budget Brazilian film, and was like, this is it. Like he said he wasn't super familiar with his work. He hadn't seen some of the OGs back in the day, like George of the Jungle, and he went back watched
He's
those, and
seen
he was
George of
in.
the Jungle.
He
Don't
literally in the
lie,
interview said
Darren.
he had not.
I don't believe
Um,
him. Guy makes Noah
so
but hasn't seen George of the Jungle. Come on
so
now.
I'm pumped for that for our boy Brendan. I'm in on the Brendan Massance, whatever we want to call it, like
Mhm.
McConaughey got. Um, I'm very curious. I don't know anything about this movie, The Whale. I really hated the last Darren Aronofsky movie I saw, so I'm not super high on him right now because Mother is a horrible movie. Um, Noah wasn't great. Black Swan is amazing. The Wrestler's amazing. The Fountain. Ooh. not so much. Some people really like it. Requiem for a Dream is intense. Pie's all right, but I'm curious what Whale brings. I heard people were saying he's the front runner now for the Oscar win, but we'll see. So, Kyle, tell me not only about your thoughts on the Whale and Darren, but everything else I need to know about Venice this weekend.
Well, in case if people did want to know, any of the listeners want to know, The Whale is about a 600-pound man who is trying to reconnect with his 17-year-old daughter, who is being played by Sadie Sink from Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm,
I was
mm-hmm.
hearing a little bit that she was getting some good buzz for her performance, and I'm really excited to see what she's going to do opposite of Brendan Fraser. But like you, with what he went through in the industry and why he just disappeared for so many years, it's amazing to see him be able to come back and be reinvited to the industry. And he just seems like a really down to earth, good dude as well. He's awesome in Doom Patrol. So if you want something else to watch of his leading up to the Whale, there's something there.
He's gonna
He
be
is
in.
getting a lot.
Hang on, real quick. He's gonna
Yeah,
be
no
in
problem.
Martin Scorsese's next movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, which a friend of ours
Oh,
says
that's
is an
right.
incredible book. Leo
Mhm.
DiCaprio's in it, the man who never dates women under 25, which has been
No.
trending for 3, 4, 5 days straight. Leo, Leo, have you seen Meryl Streep? Have you seen her? Date
You
Meryl.
could land. You could
That'd be
land
the
Meryl.
power. Think of how talented their children would be. Think about it. Incredible. No shade to Meryl's
Yeah.
real husband. He's an absolute stud. But
Mhm.
anyway,
We're
that's going
just
to be really
saying.
cool for Brendan too. You know,
Yeah.
Darren Aronofsky's one thing. He's got some good movies under his belt. I think he's known as kind of a wackadoodle in Hollywood. I didn't love Mother. I thought Mother was pretty atrociously bad. Noah's, ugh. But you put Brendan with Martin Scorsese, and if he's putting up Oscar with Darren Aronofsky, who's a good director, but if you put him with Martin Scorsese, look out. Anyway, you may continue, sir.
Well, yeah, I'll just move on then because from what I'm hearing right now, the conversations in terms of like lead performances are between Brendan Fraser and Timothy Chalamet. Um, Timothy
Oh
Chalamet
God,
is about to
for Willy
have a movie
Wonka,
come out. Yeah, for Willy Wonka.
let's get
I can't.
it.
I can't believe that's going to be a real movie. But it's going to be for a movie called Bones and All. It has the
Bones
director.
and all.
I always mess up his name. Luca
Wow.
Guadagnino. He was the director of Call Me by Your Name, and the director and Timothy are getting a lot of praise for this movie. This movie is supposed to be based on the 2015 novel of the same name, which is about two young lovers who take a cross country trip but are also cannibals. Which that took a turn from what I was just reading about, but from
So
what I'm hearing, it's a really
he leaves Army Hammer and Call Me by Your Name, and then makes a movie about Army Hammer.
I
Timothy,
didn't think
Timothy,
I,
you dog. What is
that's
this
how
move?
that's how you get through the industry, kids. Fire with fire. I
Apparently,
didn't even think about that. That's so funny. Um, but yeah, I mean, I obviously have not heard of this book at all. I've been hearing the name of this movie floating around, but I just wasn't sure of what it was about. So the cannibal thing is throwing me for a loop, but I was hearing after people saw the movie that it's really romantic. Timothy Chalamet is killer in this movie, but also the young actress opposite of him named Taylor Russell is a standout as well. So maybe this will become her um, breakout role because I'm unfamiliar with her work. I believe I'll look her up in a bit, but that's also one
no,
that
nothing you've
has been
seen.
getting quite a bit of traction. Excuse me. What were you saying, Alex?
I don't think you've seen any of the movies she's been in. I'm looking at it right now. I haven't
Okay.
seen any of them. So I hadn't heard of this. I think Call Me by Your Name is massively overrated. It's one of our most disliked videos on this platform because Kyle and I didn't dig it. Timothy has grown on me as an actor. Um, I think Dune really helped that because I actually think he does something a bit different in Dune. I think he's great in Lady Bird. I think he's very good, but outshined by the brilliant women in Little Women. But he plays similar characters. Beautiful Boy is probably the biggest breakaway outside of Dune for me. But he does a lot of similar things. I'm excited for him to do Willy Wonka because that doesn't strike Timothy Chalamet to me. And so I like that he's taking
Hmm.
on roles that are a bit different. Um, because I think he kind of just plays a very similar stuck up character quite often. I don't know if this is going to be that at all, but I'm interested in this. I'm not as high on it just because the director I actually think has not put out these incredible movies. I think he's put out some okay movies. Um, but I'll be definitely interested to give it a shot, especially if everybody's talking about how good everyone is.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if he actually does something different. I have a strong feeling looking at these pictures, it won't be. But anyway, what else from Venice?
Uh, a movie called Tar, starring Kate Blanchett, is getting a lot of buzz, mainly for
Tar.
obviously how amazing she is and
Ooh,
probably
Mark
is going to be
Strong.
when we see the movie. Supposed to be a movie, by the sounds of it, that is a depiction of an artist's preparation and how legacy can be the death of artistry. According to some of the interviews I've been seeing between Kate Blanchett and Todd Fields when it comes to this movie. Um, and I believe it's Todd Fields' first movie since the movie Little Children, by the looks of it, of the research that
Yeah.
I put in, because I forgot about that. Um, Not a movie that has been on my radar for sure, but if it comes to my theater, I guess I'll try and check it out because Kate Blanchett obviously is magnetic in any movie that she's in ever. So why would I not want to try and see her in this one? Seems like it's going to be a slow burn of a movie too, just by the trailer that I saw from it a few days prior as well. But that could be all right.
I
Sign me up.
second that. I second what you said. What's next? Any other
All
movies
right.
of notoriety?
Uh, Sam Mendes is back with a movie called Empire of Light. It sounds like it's supposed to be a movie that's an ode to cinemas, kind of, well, maybe in the way of like a Cinema Paradiso is, but for like Sean Mendes on a personal, or Sean Mendes, Sam Mendes on a personal level, excuse me. Um, but I've been hearing mixed things about the movie. The performances are very good by the sounds of it, and the cinematography is also
It's a great
brilliant because
cast.
it's Roger Deakins, I believe, is reteaming with Sam again. But in terms of the overall movie and what it's trying to go for, it sounds like it's a bit of a mixed bag. So um, it doesn't give me too much. That makes me a little bit nervous because I have seen the trailer for this movie, and I was a little excited about it because right away it seemed like it was his ode to movie theaters, and it seemed like a very beautiful looking movie. So I was hoping the story would land as well, but maybe it'll just be different for me. But that's just what I'm hearing coming out of what people have seen for Empire of Light.
Hmm. I'm
Who's in the
interested. I
cast?
really like Sam Mendes. It's Olivia Colman, Colin Firth,
Oh,
Monica Dolan, Toby Jones, our boy Dobby. Let's go.
he's great in everything.
Yeah,
Love
no,
him.
yeah, that's a good cast. I'm curious. I think Sam Mendes. Some people didn't like it. I think 1917 was a great war movie, one of the best war movies we've had in a
Yeah,
while. I thought it was awesome. Obviously, he's
beautiful
made
movie.
some good and very bad James Bond movies. Revolutionary Road, though, is good. Jarhead is underrated. I feel like Road to Perdition is very good. He made American Beauty, which, as much as I hate Kevin Spacey, is an incredible movie. Um, so I'm in. I'm in. I like Sam Mendes a lot. What else? Is that it? Is that the big heavy hitters?
No, I do have one more mention.
Dear God.
There's a movie that is getting lots of praise as well called The Banshees of Inisherin. It stars Colin Farrell, or sorry, Colin Firth, with Brendan Gleeson. I'll double check to make sure I'm not getting the names mixed up, but um,
Oh, is this
it has
that
them.
movie where they're friends and they don't like each other?
It probably is that one. I'll
I
look it up,
saw a
make
preview
sure.
for that.
But it's them reteaming with Martin McDonough. They all work together
Yes,
from
it
In
is. It is
Bruges,
that
and
movie.
In Bruges
Yeah.
is a wonderful, amazing movie. So it's awesome seeing the three of them team up, and the movie is getting a lot of praise, and so are the two lead performances. Yes, it is Brandon Gleeson. For some reason, I had
Yep.
a brain fart and was about to say Domhnall Gleeson, but
Yeah.
nope. It's Brendan.
This is the only movie trailer of everything you've said that I've seen because it played before I went and saw 3,000 Years of Longing. And I
Mm.
remember being like, I was like, okay, they're back. And then I was like, I wonder if this is Martin McDonagh coming back for this. And I really like Martin McDonagh. I like In Bruges. I really like Three Billboards. Seven Psychopaths, I hear, is really good. Um, I have a friend who will die on the Seven Psychopaths hill. He loves that movie.
Hmm.
But this movie looked interesting. It wasn't what I expected, but you know that because of how he is as a writer, it's going to end up just probably being this slower burn character study. And excuse me. Woo! And I'm here for it. I think this looks awesome. Anyway, sorry I cut you off.
No, that's all right. You summed it up pretty well. I'm just going to be curious about if these two performances are as great as they're saying they are, and if this hype continues leading into the deeper part of the awards race, if we're going to be seeing either one of them be a lead actor and a supporting actor, or if they're both going to go down the supporting actor route. And that's usually the curious aspect for me at this time. It's just seeing it's just searching through the weeds of figuring out like who gets out on top, who doesn't, and then how does studio place each actor in what category. Those are
Yeah, it
always
always
the
depends on the year.
yeah, exactly. It depends on the year, depends about how things are projected, and you just never know. We're also early in the year. It's September. For all we know, these titles I just listed are going to be forgotten about come like February. But this is just the early buzz that I'm hearing so far from Venice, and since we're starting to get into the rollout of stuff that could be Oscar contenders, figured we at least get a jump on it.
I like it. All right. Next thing to talk about, probably the last thing we'll talk about today, is D23 this week.
Hmm.
We've got guesses, apparently. I've heard a lot of creators talking about guesses of what's coming. I've heard some people I just don't think they understand how this works. I've seen some people in the world who are basically like, we're going to get information on everything is basically what they say. We're going to learn this
Sure.
cast. We're going to learn this villain. We're going to see footage from Avengers 6. They haven't even began filming Avengers 5. But that's how they feel because they just
Right.
want it. They want it. I
Hmm.
want it now, Kyle. I want it
Hmm.
now. Give it to me. Um what's your first big thought here? What do you think's the big let's go big. What do you think's the biggest thing we're going to hear from D23?
I feel like what fans are hoping for is that the big thing is going to be X-Men casting announcements or X-Men
Or
movie
Fantastic
announcement.
4?
I think Fantastic Four is just more likely. That was the route I was going to go with in terms of like what the biggest thing will be coming out. At least on the Marvel end of it. Um but I think a lot more fans are hoping like it's an X-Men thing, and I just don't quite see that happening. Maybe footage of like X-Men the animated series, that new one that they're doing. Like that could be what we hear coming out, but I don't think we're going to be getting like casting announcements for it.
So, there's a couple movies they're filming, right? Aren't they filming a Thunderbolts movie right now that we don't know anything about?
I don't think they started the project, but the project has been announced. They just haven't filmed it yet. I don't even
Oh.
think there's a director for it yet.
Oh, well, I saw people saying we were going to get a trailer for Thunderbolts, so clearly they're not paying attention because I asked you because I knew you would know. And I didn't.
Yeah,
See, I
no,
still
that's
checking your
no.
resources, friends. Um,
I'm the
I think a fan-
resource.
I think a Fantastic Four cast makes the most sense. I don't think I don't think Marvel is gonna hit hard. They just hit
Hmm.
hard like a month ago at Comic-Con. Why are you hitting hard again? Why are we playing our hand twice? So I don't know. I think Marvel's going to give us some good stuff, but I don't think we're going to get as big of this insane reveal. They don't have a lot of movie spots open left in the next 2 years. I would rather not hear what those movies are and maybe hear it next year at D23 because I don't know. They might announce the rest of their movies, but I don't know. If I'm Marvel, I show us a little bit of footage of some stuff of whatever they've got. Like what are they doing right now? Black Panther's coming up. I don't think we quite get another Black Panther trailer. I think
I wouldn't be
actually
shocked, but I agree.
I think the heaviest whoa, my earpod fell out. I think a big heavy hitter we're gonna get is Avatar. I think if we get
Yes.
really anything, a full-fledged Avatar trailer, because they have this in their back pocket. Anytime that trailer has showed up in any movie I've seen since it aired, people react in a positive way. I know that makes my brother squirm because he's not a fan, but people like Avatar. They do. They really do. The common goers really like Avatar. And
Mhm.
there's a reason it keeps getting re-released. There's a reason it's made the most money ever. And I think that's the biggest hitter at D23. And I think they want it to be because you've just played a big Marvel hand. You've kept yourself in the news with Marvel from that. What else are they going to show? What's the, maybe something from the Echo show we'll probably get. That's supposed to be up soon.
That is being filmed, so that's
Yeah, I think
possible.
Echo would make sense. What else are they doing though? What else is Marvel doing right now?
I mean, you said the Daredevil show. I don't think that started filming yet, but I wouldn't be shocked if
I didn't say anything
casting
about
announcements
Daredevil.
could.
Say that what?
What did I say? I don't know what I said.
You
What I meant to say was that I don't think Daredevil has started filming yet.
yeah.
Um, but casting announcements for Daredevil, maybe I don't know. Maybe they have Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio come out on stage. I don't know. That
Loki
could be a
season
thing.
2 is filming. I think maybe we see maybe we don't,
Yeah.
but I think they might show something from Loki. Isn't there some
This
didn't they
will all be in
cast
the
somebody
panel.
pretty
We're not
big?
gonna see.
No, yeah, we won't see much.
Yeah.
We'll just hear rumors. But
Mhm.
didn't they just add somebody big? Isn't there a rumor that they've added someone big to Loki season 2?
Oh, there was a rumor just recently that Henry Cavill might have a role in Loki season
That's
2.
right. I
Yeah.
wonder who he would play, and he's rumored to be a Reed Richards. Maybe they bring out Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill, let's take a little side note here. Henry Cavill is also being linked to Game of Thrones. There's rumors going around that not only Henry Cavill,
All right.
but Elizabeth Olsen are in talks for big roles
Oh.
in season 2 of Hot D, House of the Dragon. And I just
Oh,
watched
cool.
the third episode last night. The show I think is very good. Um, that would be cool. It'd be hard not to see Henry Cavill as Geralt, especially if he gets cast as a Targaryen because he'd have the same color hair,
I know what this
basically.
means,
But
yes.
for fans who do know, that would be cool. Anyway, if they go with Henry Cavill, they might reveal something there as who he's
Yeah.
gonna play. Do you think we get Guardians footage? They've been filming. Do you think maybe this is where they talk some Guardians? That's not till late next year, isn't it?
About May, I think, next year. I could double check that. But I wouldn't be shocked by it. I could see
We could
footage
get a
or the
teaser.
cast coming out. Yeah, at the very least, a
I could,
teaser. I don't know if they would show it after the panel, if it would go on YouTube, but they would
yeah,
show something. I would suspect. I think they might be
they
done
might.
filming. Yeah.
They might. And if they show us anything, the common folk, it might just be something that's like half the trailer's a teaser of everything we've seen so far. When they do that, like it'll be like over like Chris Pratt talking lines from all
Hmm.
his other movies about family and friends and how how these guardians saved him, and then it'll show us like Gamora's grave or something, and then the other Gamora will still be there or something weird, and I don't know. It'll
Right.
be something like that, probably legacy
Sure.
of them and how someone's gonna die, but that might happen. What else do you think? Do you have any? You hearing anything low to the ground? You got boots on the ground, I hear at Disney camp. So what uh what are you
When
hearing?
I sneak through their vents.
Kyle's Kyle's in there like John McClane, baby. Get
Well, to move
together,
away
have a few
from
laughs.
Marvel for just a minute, I wouldn't be
Star
shocked
Wars.
if well, Lucasfilm so close. I think there will be stuff shown for Indiana Jones 5. They've been filming this movie for a
Ooh.
while. It might be
Mm.
scheduled for next year, but I'm not sure. They're always pushing back the release date for this movie. And it's one of those movies where like I need to see something to know
They
it's
released a
real.
poster not long ago, didn't they? Didn't they put out a poster not that long ago?
Oh, it was just art, or not art, like a photo or something of of Harrison Ford as like a silhouette on set.
Yeah, but that was
So
an official thing, though. I wonder
Yeah,
if
it was
that.
official.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This says
And
hits
I've been
June of
watching
next year is when it comes
I've been
out.
watching Indiana Jones recently, so I'm getting a little bit more
S-
excited thinking that
Speaking
he's
of
coming back.
Spielberg in his prime. Speaking of
Yeah,
Spielberg in
it
his prime.
oof.
And who's directing this again? It's somebody we like. The Logan guy, isn't it?
Oh man, why am I spacing on his name now? Yeah, he did Ford versus Ferrari, Logan. Oh,
He's
this is dumb. I
great.
should know his
He's
name off the top of
great.
my
Ford
head.
versus Ferrari is awesome. I would even say underrated because I don't think people think about it and how good that movie really is. And Logan obviously is one of the best comic book movies of all time.
For
Uh,
sure. Yeah, this is the worst part about being on podcasts like this is that you do remember everything because you're a fan of this stuff, and then you just have a massive brain fart when all the listeners are like, "It's obviously James
I think you're
Mangold."
right. Indiana
It is
Jones
James
5 would
Mangold.
make a
Yeah,
lot of James Mangold. I think Indiana Jones 5 is an avatar. There you go. Because if I'm Disney, I don't want Marvel to. I mean, you do want Marvel to stay in the news, but they just did that. They owned Comic Con. Hit us with
without even
something
trying.
else. Avatar, Indiana Jones 5. That would be big. That would be big. I think that's a great call. I think first
Yeah,
footage, that might be something the public gets to see too, a first little teaser, and that's going to be a legacy thing. Absolutely. Like it'll be like the hat
for
blowing
sure.
in the wind, like at the end of Crystal Skull, but no Shia LaBeoufs.
No, not
Shia, hey, I'm proud of you, Shia. 600 days sober, something like that. Hey, good on you, Shia. Keep it up.
He had an interesting interview
Interview.
with John Bernthal on his podcast.
Yeah, I talked about that last podcast for us on the Real
Yeah, I
Ones
finally
podcast.
listened to it, and it was yeah, it was just
Interesting.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
What
going
else do
back
you think?
to
D23.
going back to Marvel, did I say we talked a little bit about Thunderbolts. Nothing has been announced for it, but maybe the lineup because there's just only rumblings of like what villains are in the Thunderbolts lineup. So
Yeah.
maybe it could be that.
I wonder if they put Moon Knight in there. Wasn't there a rumor Moon Knight was going to be in something? I saw Moon Knight is rumored to be in Captain America 4. That's what I heard.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Captain America
the
New
only
World Order,
huh?
baby.
I don't really know how the two connect exactly, but that would be quite a pairing. I know there was a rumor, or at least Oscar Isaac was like saying there was a season two, like they were doing location scouting or something.
They
Um,
were on a boat. Yeah, I saw the TikTok.
yeah,
It
so
was
I
the
don't know
director's
if.
daughter made a TikTok about it. It was him and the director with the director's family, and she
Oh,
said something
really?
like Moon Knight season 2, and he was like, "Mm-hmm."
Hmm. Weird.
Quick side
I mean,
note, which this says no, you go, you go, you go.
okay. Real quick, I was just gonna say it's just weird what's going on with Moon Knight. Because like clearly the director and other people are like, oh yeah, we have a season two, but nothing's been happening from Marvel, unless if they're just waiting until D23 maybe and then they announce it. But
Maybe.
um,
That's
I
probably
don't know.
some
I
big
just,
stuff too. Season 2s of some shows that we haven't heard is probably something that's on the docket.
I mean, Miss
And
Marvel could be
maybe,
one of them. Yeah,
yeah. I
which I would
wonder
love.
too if they're gonna they might do something too along the lines of just giving us information of where these new people are going. Not necessarily a Hawkeye season 2, but where will Kate Bishop be seen next? Where will this
Mm,
actor or actress be seen next?
sure.
Might be the biggest thing. Are you watching She-Hulk?
No, not right now because I am so annoyed with all of the idiot, sexist losers on the internet, like being annoying about the show that it just has made me lose interest completely. So I'm just gonna wait until it's all died down for me to watch it.
Wow. Have you
Yeah,
seen the post-credit scene though that was trending all over places that was making people mad?
the Megan the Stallion one. Yeah, I saw that one.
Where they're twerking? You know,
Yeah,
I was saying talking about that with some people and they were like, "It's a post-credit scene." Like I get
yeah,
that we are now accustomed to those being canon and teasing things, but it's like it's just them having some fun. I'm watching it. I think the show is actually okay. The CGI at times looks horrific. Sometimes looks
yeah.
very good. There are scenes where she looks ripped as all get out. I know some people are mad she doesn't look ripped all the time, but there are scenes where it's like, oh my gosh, like
Hmm.
she's ripped.
Okay.
Um, I think Tatiana's done a good job. I haven't finished this
Good.
most recent episode with the after credit scene because I've just been busy. A lot of shows are dropping. Gonna try to watch the Lord of the Rings show. You gonna watch that at all? I know you and I are both not the biggest Lord of the Ring nuts. Uh, but are you
Yeah.
gonna watch the show?
No. I wasn't really
Wow,
planning on to begin
wow,
with.
you
Um,
hate
but
people.
it's also the same thing. Like there's so many people on online who are also yelling of like, why are there black dwarves in this show? Who cares? It's make believe. It's fine. Let
House of
anyone
Dragons getting
play
hit
any
with that
role.
too.
It's
House of
so
Dragons getting hit
annoying,
with that
dude.
because
It's so
they have
annoying. Like I have no enthusiasm to watch any of
it,
this because of it.
in House
It's
of
so
Dragon,
sad.
there's a whole family that is African American and black, and in the books, I don't think they're alluded to as that in this side story book, and they changed it to being that way. And that main actor who's playing kind of the head, who's getting a spin-off show as well. He is.
Mm,
He said they
cool.
just don't like seeing a black man in a role that they wanted to see themselves in, and I'm completely on his side. Like there are people that are doing that, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like he's awesome in the role. He's awesome. This most latest episode, he does some cool stuff. I was in. He's great. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He has to have this bright because the family has this bright silver hair. He looks just like he's a badass. He's awesome. He's awesome. Anyway, yeah, that's fair on She-Hulk. What else do you think we're gonna get from D23? What have you heard with your boots on the ground?
Oh, I really I haven't been hearing anything. I have no idea what's going to be coming out. Um, I assume when it comes to it being Disney, they're going to be announcing like Disney Plus shows, like what new animated projects they have going on, what new like High School Musical series, how many more seasons that's going to
Yeah.
come up.
Pixar's
Um,
probably gonna drop something good. The next big Pixar movie.
yeah, maybe new
We'll
Pixar
probably get
movies.
some
Same
news.
with Disney Animation. We could be seeing that. I haven't heard like what the new stuff could be. Nothing
Low
from the
key,
outlets are saying what they are. So I don't know.
Pixar sneaks under the radar for me a lot. Like I tend to not hear much, and then there's boom trailer of Soul, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. Like I low
Mm.
key love that Pixar does that. Um, but all right, then let's move to Lucasfilm, the other big hitter here. I think Lucasfilm is not gonna come out swinging because I don't think they know what the frick frack they're doing. uh,
Interesting.
there's a lot of things that are not going down. I don't think we're going to get much on John Watts. They might bring out what's his face? Who's Dumbledore? Why can't I think of Dumbledore right now? Young
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
Oh, Jude Law.
Jude Law, thank you. Maybe they bring him out cuz he's cast. But like what's on the docket? You moved Patty Jenkins. The biggest thing we'll get is
Hmm.
Andor. Andor's at the end of the month. We're getting Andor
Yeah.
soon. We might get a final trailer for Andor. I'm getting very hyped for Andor. Some of the things Diego Luna has said about it is awesome. Awesome. He's talking about how dark and gritty it is. He's like, there's no connections. He's like, this is not the show for you if you're hoping to see a Jedi appear. There will be none of that. There's not going to
Oh,
be a
Easter
connection to
eggs.
legacy characters. It's going to be
Gotcha.
dirty and grounded. It's a longer show. Heard some. I thought it was 16 episodes, something like that, for the first
Oh.
season. I'm in on that. I think the biggest thing, if we get anything from D23, might be a trailer about this bad boy and Lucasfilm Games and how they're going to be coming out with Fallen Order 2.
Oh.
I think is
Yeah,
the
that
big
could be
thing we'll
something.
get. I think Fallen Order is the best Star Wars story Lucasfilm has told since Disney bought it. It is incredible. It
Wow.
is an awesome game. If they announce something like that, we might. They're filming Ahsoka. We'll probably get some. At least the people there will get to see something Ahsoka most likely. They might bring out the cast who's going to be playing Ezra and Sabine and all these characters we know from
Oh, I
Rebels. We'll
forgot
we'll
about that.
probably get something like that. But I think Lucasfilm has been in a weird place since Rise of Skywalker. I don't think they've come out with these massive, incredible things. I think Obi-Wan was really good. I really liked the Obi-Wan show. It had some of the best Star Wars moments I think ever. We might get an Obi-Wan season 2 announcement, but I wouldn't hold your breath on it. I think
Sure.
I just Star Wars doesn't feel the way it has been for a lot of people since The Last Jedi. For some people, I think for most people, I think it's been since Rise of Skywalker came out because people didn't love some of the things we've gotten since. We might get Mandalorian. A lot of these shows, like, cool. But you know what would really, really put Star Wars back in over the top? Is a trailer for a new incredible movie that's something different and unique in the universe. A big budget movie that's going to play in theaters. That is what's going to get fans to really rally back behind you. TV shows are too nitpicky. Game of Thrones made TV too nitpicky, where fans pick apart everything of a show because they have, instead of a week to sit and theorize, we now sit for a week waiting for the next episode, complaining and nitpicking it. And it wasn't what we wanted. I wanted them to fight from the first episode. Why didn't they fight? Why didn't he use his
Deliver our
lightsaber the way I wanted him to? I could write things better than this. I write fan fiction for a living.
Mhm. Mhm.
Anyway, that's where
I
the
have
fandom is gone.
I agree. And even though I'm not fully high that they're gonna be introducing anything groundbreaking with Star Wars, like anything new, I'm also kind of okay with that because I want you to
Me
show
too.
us new things for what you've already announced. But I have a feeling they're gonna be like, and as a reminder, Ahsoka's gonna be a project, and Acolyte's gonna be a project, and I just maybe I'll be
Ahsoka's
wrong,
filming.
but at the same time, like I just feel that's a little more promising. But at the same time, I just feel like they're just going to be reminders and not really show anyone at those panels anything new. And I'm kind of worried about that. But I could be wrong. Maybe they will show
Speaking,
something big for Ahsoka, and it's going to get some buzz.
I mean, it
But
probably, if
maybe
even if
they
we
have
get
to
to
do.
see it, it'll. What are you saying?
You continue your thought because it ties
Well,
into
they
what
have
I
to
was
what?
saying earlier. I was
I
saying
was
they
just gonna.
must be going to show something for Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah, well, they're filming that now as well, but they didn't start filming that for a minute because Pedro Pascal's been busy doing an HBO show. Side note, he's doing an adaptation of the video game The Last of Us with
Hmm.
Bella Ramsey, I believe is her name, from Game of Thrones. And she's great in her smaller role in Game of Thrones in the later seasons. I am hyped for that. I've never played the game really. I've played a little bit with like friends here and there, and we're just sitting or something and watch gameplay. But that is a very cool dystopian story, and they're going to be awesome together. And I'm very excited for that show. Something HBO might be doing right. Um, but
Oh, that
anyway,
is
I
HBO.
yeah, it's an HBO Max show.
Oh,
Um,
I was thinking FX for some reason. Anyway, keep going.
I mean, maybe they're partnering. I don't know. I know it's going to be on HBO.
No, I'm sure
But
you're right.
yeah, they'll play stuff that's gonna get attention. It's gonna hype me up. Things I'll probably really dig. But I think the best thing Star Wars can do is to take a break. Because every D23, every Comic Con, everything that Kathleen shows up to, she announces all these big things, and then 6 months later, 5 of them are canceled. They've had differences. They've moved on. They fired people. It's just she doesn't stick to her guns. She's too reactionary. One of the greatest producers of all time. She has given us all those Spielberg movies we were gushing about at the beginning of the show. But
Mhm.
it's just, she has not done an amazing job with Lucasfilm. I think she knows that. I hope she's learning from her mistakes. I'm excited for the John Watts show. I think that will be really cool. But you want to get people excited about Star Wars again? You need to do something in the universe very different, very far away. You need to do, I've been saying this for years. Fans have just now started saying this, that they need to do what Game of Thrones is doing. Do a prequel hundreds of years before the events of what we've seen, and that'll be doing it. I have been saying that for like 7 years, that that's what they needed
Mhm.
to do. That's why the Game of Thrones original creators, Dan and Dave, coming on to do a trilogy was supposed to be really cool because it was rumored to be 1,000 years before anything we had ever seen. And people were like, oh, they're going to do some of the most insane battles that they did in Game of Thrones, and they're going to put that with lightsabers. And everybody was like, this is amazing. And then they made a bad season, and now, God forbid, they ever write anything again. But we that's what they need to do. Patty Jenkins couldn't make her movie, so she's gone. She didn't want it. They were like, no, we don't want it your way. We want it this way. And she was like, well, that's not what you hired me to do. Boom, she's gone. Like, I
Yeah.
don't even know what movies left. Rian Johnson just did an interview for Knives Out 2, and they asked him about Star Wars. Did you see this?
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson said,
Forgot
I
about
am
it.
more proud of The Last Jedi now than I was when it came out. And I love that. Even if you don't like the movie, as a director who made something divisive, I think being able to sit back and be like, look, no, I'm proud of that. We don't hear JJ saying that about Ep 9, because Ep
Nope, he
9 was
did not.
way worse. Way
Even before
worse. And any,
I th- it was like a week out, and he was like,
it's true.
I like it. It
It's
might be
true.
okay."
You want to break the
No, good
internet,
on
you
him.
announce Colin Trevorrow's making his script, and all the whole cast is coming back to make a real episode 9.
I did
But not
hear
only
in
did he
that
say
same.
that, yeah, I was going to go on. Are you going to talk about
Yeah,
trilogy?
keep going. You got it. You got it. You got it.
Yeah,
Keep
in
going.
the same interview, he said, I am still greenlit to make my trilogy when I have time. I hope it's not something that gets canceled. And I hope it doesn't either. I think a Rian Johnson trilogy would be amazing. And I think fans would be down to see it. I think if it's advertised correctly, as this is something very separate in the Star Wars universe, he's not tackling any legacy characters, then I think fans will go see it. I really do. I also don't think the fan base is as divided on Last Jedi then, and I think over the last couple of years it's been seen that the negative was the minority, because it still will trend every like 6-7 months on Twitter, and almost everything is positive about how Rian Johnson made a great movie, that they really like it, that they may have some flaws, but they think this really works. And I still dig it. I still think The Last Jedi is a great movie. I think Rise of Skywalker is atrocious. Atrocious. And I think if JJ had made a great last movie, people would have forgiven the middle movie. I truly believe that. And anybody who says no, I think you're just mad you didn't get what you wanted the first time. And you got something bad. But anyway, yeah, Star Wars, I don't think they're going to come out with anything too huge. Or they will, because they are told they have to, and then everybody will freak out, and then it'll all get canceled. But any other thoughts here?
Um, no, you summed it up well. Moving away from the Star Warsness of D23, I also imagine they'll announce projects coming from FX. I think they've done that in the past. More of their adult stuff that is either on Disney Plus or on Hulu. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But beyond that, I'm not going to be expecting anything that we're saying to be actually happening. Those are just speculations of mine of what they would show, given the timing of projects and where we're at right now currently. But um, hopefully, it's a lot of fun for the people going to that D23 event. And maybe we'll see some cool stuff coming out of it. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, guys. What do you think of everything we talked about? Comment below, let us know. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Go join the Patreon. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.